Guys, we lost some legends today. We're going to look at a couple of them. We lost Dikembe Mutombo. No, 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 no. With the most unique voice and probably the longest finger. I'm 6'5". My finger pretty long, but his was probably about the right there. His hands was huge. Pete Rose lost him today as well. The sad part is Dikembe Mutombo was only 58 years old. That's actually not that old. I know if you 20, you think that's old, but when you get to 40, you be thinking like, well, that's only like what 15, 18 years away. So, guys, health is important. Vitality is important. I don't know what all the reports are, but just flying across everywhere. Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Rest in peace, and Pete Rose. Shout out to Pete Rose. So, to commemorate those guys, since this is a sports show tonight, had to take a break from law stuff, my law studies. I'm going to play top 10 Mutombo moments, and they probably gonna ding me for it, but I ain't monetized yet. But if you hit the subscribe button, help me go to 1K, we will get monetized, and we can invest and find a studio, and we can do more and more and more content. Shout out to everybody who watch. We make content for regular people. We give thoughts and insights from regular working people. That's what we do. Thinking Game Podcast on Thursdays. Sports throughout the week. We talking about random topics today. And the first one we talking about is Dikembe Mutombo. No, 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 no. Top 10 blocks. Look at that.
On the dunk shot, Akbar slashes in, and Mutombo denies him at the basket.
Oh, this real Mutombo right here.
10 seconds on the shot clock. John Kemp trying to do it one-on-one. Block by Dikembe. Reloads it. He knew Dikembe was there, and he wasn't even close on that shot.
Well, he handles him. He gives him
how long he was around the lane. He knew how to use his body.
Larry Brown's philosophy here tonight with McMahon. Curry got the shot rejected by Mutombo.
Dikembe, Marvin's an excellent help defender. He knows the defensive guidelines, and he is going to go to the front of that rim. Any kind of penetration.
Good D by Jackson.
Very nice.
Simpkins, and a great block by Mutombo.
Jim Jackson gives us some inches, but Dikembe Mutombo has his back.
Trent gets the booze. He has been the villain physically of the Sonics. And Mutombo comes over to swat it away. Kendall Gill, Mutombo again takes care of that one. And the first.
All right, let me stop before I get dinged. But yeah, Mutombo was the man. In his prime, he was the man. When he started getting older, though, we got to be honest. Vince Carter caught him slipping a couple times. Vince Carter was on a different level, though, like jumping. I mean, Mutombo couldn't jump that high. I mean, you would have thought that Vince Carter was a rocket when he first came in the league. Man, he used to jump so high. But shout out to Mutombo, man. Rest in peace, man. At 58, man, that's pretty young. So our next person is Pete Rose. Now, Pete Rose was a different kind of dude, man, because he would plow into the home plate, the umpire. He do whatever to win the game. The only thing about Pete Rose is he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Who stick the hand in the cookie jar? Not me. But he got caught gambling, and they pretty much banned him, lifetime ban from baseball. He would have definitely been in the Hall of Fame, but only because of that infraction, and it was real big about sports gambling. They really hit him across the shins with the regulations and rules. And, man, he was lifetime banned from baseball, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a legend, but that's why I say choices and decisions. They can change you. They can alter your future. They can change your future, and they can deny you things in the future. Not saying that because I'm not perfect. I've did some things and made some bad choices as well, so I definitely get it. And that's why I don't mind saying it, is you got to be careful about the choices. So let's watch a couple of Pete Rose situations, man. Rest in peace to Pete Rose. Whoa, it's from Cincinnati. Wow. Mm.
Moment number 13.
Wow.
Over his 24-year career, Pete rattled off 15 seasons with a batting average over 300.
It's not bad.
He claimed his first batting title after posting a 335 average. Pete wasted no time collecting another title, batting a career-best 348 in 1969 to become the NL batting champion in back-to-back seasons.
Thanks to the stylish hotel on booking.
Let me stop before I get dinged up. So I say this about Pete Rose, right? We're gonna talk about this a little bit too with Vince McMahon.
When I go into Canva, I'm able to focus more on just creating the
Vince McMahon, and Pete Rose. A lot of those guys who are on the edge of just it seemed like the best guys, unreal, was always into something. I'm talking about like some of the greatest guys, unreal. They the ones that get caught, but they was like dude was unreal. Like, can you imagine and how tough baseball is? Like, 32% hit rate wins you a title. That means out of 10 times, he hit the ball 3 times or 3.5 times. Like, I don't know how they count that, but he had a 320 batting average and won a title. Think about how hard that is, like in baseball. But it's something about some of the greatest players that you see that always have something weird. It's like an X factor almost. I think everybody has an X factor, but everybody not on TV. Everybody's stuff don't get highlighted like that. I think every human has an X factor, but his was just exposed. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and and I don't understand. If you see how Pete Rose got shunned in sports, why would anybody want to try it after him? That's the question. But people did, and some people got caught. People getting caught right now in the NFL. Knowing you ain't supposed to be gambling, you playing in the NFL, but you're gonna do it anyway. It's pretty crazy. But I digress. Rest in peace to Mutombo. Rest in peace to Pete Rose. Now, let's get into some football. Are the Ravens the best assembled team in the league right now? I know they 2-2. Watch a little highlights on them. But are they the best assembled team right now in the league? I know they didn't have the greatest start in the world, but what I will say is a team like this with a running back like this, you may not want to see them late in the season. Look at Derrick Henry, 70-some yard run. They're not catching them from behind. Who do you scheme against? Now, you can't just do it against Lamar. I mean, that's going to be a hard team to beat. Let me stop because it's slowing me down, slowing my RAM down. It's going to be a hard team to beat, the Ravens. Get out of that. But I think they're the best assembled team for the long haul. I think they're probably going to win probably like 11 games, something like that. Probably like 10, no more than 10. I think no less than 10. But the thing is, if they can get home field advantage and it's snowing, it's cold in Baltimore, now Lamar Jackson don't have to do all of the heavy lifting. If he can just get them a lead and get the score up and now you just running the ball with Derrick Henry. Who wants to tackle this dude in below freezing weather, snowing outside? Who wants to do that? Because a lot of people ain't gonna want to run up against that. I know the Chiefs, they have their struggle, but I think they 4-0 right now. But man, the Ravens, I'm telling you, just having Derrick Henry on your team, do the Chiefs, do they want to tackle him in the cold? I don't know if you ever try to tackle somebody in the cold, but it don't feel good. Everything stings when you trying to tackle somebody at your full speed. Even if your hands slap against them, it's gonna sting your hands, even with gloves on. He's only gonna get stronger in the season when everybody else get tired. Derrick Henry, he's only gonna get stronger. Linebackers are hurting. Their shoulders a little sore. And then you got this dude coming up the A gap. You looking at him, he looking at you. Are you gonna try to thump him? You can't arm tackle him. He gonna run you over. You can't. You have to solidly square up and try to tackle this dude and hope he don't have the leverage to keep going. Cause you don't want to be on ESPN getting ran over. He literally will run you over. Like literally, if you try to tackle him, you may keep going back. He may run you over. So you have to be careful about that. So let me know in the comments, do you think the Ravens are the best assembled team right now? With Lamar Jackson at quarterback and Derrick Henry at running back. They haven't even started running like the option or nothing yet. They probably going to start doing that too. And that's going to be hard because who are you going to cover? I mean, they can just run I formation and just have them slam between the tackles, and there ain't nothing you can do probably. Because they have a good old line too. Because you got to think, Lamar Jackson was just running the ball as a quarterback. He was nowhere near the size of Derrick Henry. So imagine that, what Derrick Henry going to do. Dude may get almost 2,000 yards this season. He may get like 1,800 yards. And they probably not hard yards either. But shout out to the Ravens for getting Derrick Henry. The Cowboys should have got him, but I know they kicking their heels right now. They should have got him, but hey, can't cry over spilled milk. So, this is the last section before I get out of here. The polarizing character of Vince McMahon. It's a Netflix special out on Vince McMahon. I don't even need to watch it. I know that he has an X factor or a dark side, some people may call it. And he's also, two things can be true. He can be a really crazy guy behind the scenes, a dirtbag or whatever you want. He could be a creative genius. When you look at a lot of the people that are creative geniuses or are polarizing, their X factor sometimes really sticks out. And a lot of times people sweep it under the rug until they start to decline, and then that's when the X factor really starts to blare. But it seems like when you look at that time when he was winning, nobody was saying nothing. Weird, but that's kind of how life go. Even in the corporate world, some bosses are bad leaders, but nobody's going to say anything because they want their job. Am I saying Vince McMahon handled his business square? Nope. Not saying that. Am I saying he probably didn't get over on some people? Nope. Not saying that either. But in the whole body of work, he still made the WWF and he made the WWE. Some of the characters I wish you would have did better by. Like I like Bret Hart. I like Mark Henry. I like the Ultimate Warrior. Even though some of those characters too, some of those people, it was some things they could have done better too. But two wrongs don't make a right. But what I'm saying is, sometimes people only tell the story that they think you want to hear, which is talk about people's X factors, but they never tell you the other things that they had to deal with as well. So one of the characters I think, like I say, you think about The Rock and Triple H and people like that, they handled their business. I will dare to say that they probably knew the stuff about Vince McMahon, but in order to leverage your value, you have to get on the main stage of WWF. A lot of people didn't understand that probably back in the 80s and 90s. I think Hulk Hogan tried to leverage his value, but it wasn't the same because he tried to make the movie No Holds Barred, which was whack. Another person who kind of, I know The Rock leveraged his Batista. He leveraged his because he's in Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. He doing other movies. I don't even think he wrestled. He may come back and do guest appearances, but I don't even think he lost his weight. I don't think he got the muscle mass that he used to have. But a lot of times you got to look at. I was talking about business the other day. Sometimes you got to take a hit because you don't have the value up front. You got to look at it as what value am I going to get down the road that I can leverage and do more things outside of wrestling. I think The Rock really understood that. He understood that there was more to him than just wrestling, and he leveraged his value despite the polarizing character of Vince McMahon. And that's the thing. Even in the regular world, some jobs you go to, it could be a polarizing job. But if you work that job, you can increase your value. That might be the experience you needed to get to that next level. Sometimes you got to go through the polarizing to get to that next level. So, next one is the patterns of people in prominence. There's a pattern. It's like an X factor. There's a pattern of people, and you're starting to see those patterns get exposed. Whether it's breaking people's will, dangling success over them based on being hazed or doing whatever. There's a pattern that is common if you really open your eyes and see about people in prominence. It make you not even want to be prominent almost. It make you a little bit leery about being successful because it seems like every time somebody's successful, they make it only a few make it unscathed. It seems like most get scathed at the end. They get slit or sliced at the end. Who knows? But there's a pattern. They do some brilliant stuff. I mean, they're brilliant. Multi-million, some of them billionaires. But there's a pattern that everybody has, even people of prominence. It's just some people are good at disguising their pattern or good at hiding their pattern, but everybody has a pattern. Everybody. Remember that. Even I got a pattern. You got a pattern. They got a pattern. Everybody has a pattern. Football teams have a pattern. Basketball teams have a pattern. Coaches have a pattern. Everybody has a pattern. Nobody is totally random where you can't figure them out. Everybody has you just hadn't been around them long enough to know their pattern. But everybody has one. The cost of being a creative genius. It's just my theory is that there's a cost to being a creative genius. I don't know. It's like you have to. It's something that comes with it. It seems like a creative genius is something, some X factor that come with that. I don't know. It just seems like that's what happens. Think about some of the greatest ones. Elon Musk. People don't like him. Vince, polarizing. Now they got Diddy, polarizing. A lot of movie guys, directors and producers, polarizing. Like it was a Weinstein, polarizing. A lot of the creative geniuses, it's like people really scrutinize them, or they're under a lot of scrutiny based on their patterns or behavior, how they move, because they're not regular. When you're a creative genius, most times you don't think like a regular person do. You move different. That's what make you different. You're a creative genius because you don't think and operate the same. Like you think about like Steven Spielberg or Wes Craven. Who thinks of these things, right? Freddy Krueger or man, you think about that. Who thinks of those kind of things? Some of the stuff that Steven Spielberg. I mean, a lot of movies, man. It's a lot. Stan Lee with Marvel. Who thinks of characters like that? You know, X-Men and Marvel, the Avengers and Captain America. Man, this is, I mean, and the cost of that is sometimes these people are not as socially aware because they're in their creative genius. Regular people most of the time don't get in creative genius because we're working 9 to 5. You're in the pattern of life for regular people. So you don't really get to be in that creative genius zone. You may be in it a little bit, but then you got to get right back.
Back to life, back to reality.
So, with that being said, realize that when you see creative geniuses, there's a cost to that. There's a cost to being great. There's a cost to being like astronomical. There's a cost to it. A lot of times, the perception of creative, they think you're arrogant. They think you know everything. You know, you this, you that. But there's a cost. So my last topic that we're going to talk about is in real life, nobody wants to be painted the bad guy, just in entertainment. It seems like in entertainment, whether it's movies, like say the wrestling with WWE, just wrestling in general, the heels got the most reaction out of the crowd. I don't know why, but the heels like Razor Ramon, Hollywood Hogan. I don't even too much like talking about Hogan now, but even though I joked about him being on the Trump campaign, go back and watch one of the old podcasts on there, and he ended up being on there. It lets me know they've been watching. But Hollywood Hogan, NWO, DX. But in real life, nobody wants to be the bad guy because the connotation that comes with it. Whether it's in lawyers, whether it's teachers, everybody kind of walk that line. You're trying to be careful about the stuff that you're doing. Even if you're doing X Factor stuff, you still try to be mindful of not getting caught. Because you better believe that stuff he was doing, he was thinking he wasn't going to get caught. Did it? He wasn't going to get caught. Weinstein, he wasn't going to get caught. And then you get so deep into it, you kind of just start getting sloppy. You don't really care no more. You're so used to doing it, not getting caught. Same way in the regular world. Dudes date girls. You sell dreams. You say what you want to say. Make everything sound good. Like, well, what's the harm? No harm, no foul. Then you mess around and get rich, and the girl come back and say some other stuff against you. A lot of people don't. They nervous about that. That's why you don't really hear people talking like that no more. But there used to be a time where there was a sentiment, selling dreams and schemes. To play a lifestyle. I read a movie, How to Be a Player, but you don't really hear dudes talking about that much no more because the times have changed. Yeah, but nobody wants to be painted the bad guy in real life. And if they do, they're doing it for a gimmick or something like that. But that's why I hate it for Pete Rose, because he was painted the bad guy for a while for getting caught for gambling. I mean, they crucified him a little bit, but you know, the price you pay for making, you know, choices and decisions sometimes. You know, I'm pretty sure if he could have saw that result, maybe he would have moved different. But he didn't. Sometimes you get caught in the moment, prisoner of the moment, and then you got to take what come with the gavel after that. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Thanks for those who subscribe to the channel. I think we're like 2-something right now. We appreciate that. Keep subscribing. Keep hitting the like button. And let's build a community. Let's build a community of positivity. I want to make positivity great again. MPGA. Make positivity great again. Let's make insight and information for our youth, middle age, because I've been there. You want to make the next step, but you don't know what it is because you don't have enough information or you don't have enough insight or you haven't been exposed to it, so you don't know what to expect. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody for supporting. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe. subscribe, share, help us grow. Let's spread the word of positivity. Make content based on positivity. This is Mike, and I'm signing out.